Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. I hope y'all are having a very good day today. I am here just going to get, I think, a little bit of the vets out. Maybe grind up some tombstones, get some more stuff. I don't want to, utilize my rest XP, but I can definitely take advantage of still the events that are going on, especially the Moogle event, and that's kind of a cool thing to utilize. I'm just spanking my rest XP for Shadowbringers, getting ready to throw wide the gates, preparing myself. Always want to check my currency. So if you're banking your rest XP, which is a great idea, there's a lot of things you could do. Me and a guildie of mine are going to be finishing Palace of the Dead. I have yet to finish it. Then we're getting on Heaven on High. We'll unlock all that stuff. So when Shadowbringers drop, we can level. I'm going to level the Gunbreaker. He's going to level the Dancer. It's a scaled effect. We'll get the most XP. Chain pulling or chain bonuses are going away, I believe, at 5.0. And, for Deep Dungeon Dive, I don't know if that'll still be effective world or if it's completely. So a lot of times in Deep Dungeon Diving, we chain pull. And the reason being we get a modifier, an XP modifier. And if you're leveling, it's really nice because it's super fast. It adds up really quick, especially if you're able to pull that many mobs between bosses. It all depends on the healer and the tank, though, and the DPS. How familiar they are with AOE rotations and things like that. But other than that, when that drops, you have to look at how XP is going to be more effective when you're leveling alternative jobs. And some of the places is definitely, your Palace of the Dead, your Heaven on High, things like that. So you can take advantage of getting the maximum amount of XP as you're running. Hey, Chrissy, morning. How are you doing? Or good evening for you. I hope you're having a good day. I got my coffee. But we're definitely going to be getting into it. Also, I'm not going to have it done, but by the time it drops, I think I should have a very high allowance on my jobs. So I don't think I'll be in. I'm hoping I can get the MSQ, my jobs, the Gunbreaker leveled, the new videos out, because I'll be doing extensive configuration videos based on each job. And what that is, it's just, instead of manually weaving abilities between the combos or off the global, weaving abilities off the global cooldown, we're going to configure the macro. So the weaves are going to be put in place so we can maximize the damage output, especially with dots. Like Dragoon has a CD that can be woven in off the GCD, but timing, putting it at the right place is very important because it's a modifier that also applies to the dot for the Dragoon. So things like that, I'm going to be kind of going over how to maximize your macro configuration off the global cooldown. And basically how to keep it manual. So for example, a lot of my AoE macros, the way I set them up so if I'm pulling, I stack my mitigating effects on chain pulls. This way I reduce the amount of damage. I can pull bigger, right? And stack all the mitigation. So the healer doesn't have so I don't die on the pull when I stop. And on top of it, I don't know which raid this is. I'm hoping it's the ARR raid, the Realm Reborn raid. It's Crystal Tower, one of the Crystal Tower raids. It might not be. It could be. It could be any raid, but I'm hoping. It's 2 p.m. here. Well, good afternoon then. Yeah, I keep forgetting like the time zone difference between different countries. I've never been out of the States, ever. I said the two places I'd want to go is Italy. Yeah, it is. And Japan. Definitely. I'm gonna also. I tried the information in my guild for the Discord, but it wasn't right. So when my guild leader logs on today, I'm gonna try to, get a direct link, hopefully, and then I can get into their Discord, and then hopefully, maybe go on a recruit some more players. So I'm all about recruiting, trying to build up things. Small companies aren't bad, but it's always nice to play with people at different times. That everybody's schedule is different. We don't. I'm gonna try to also unlock the rest of my get to my Alpha Scape. I don't know if I'll get to Omega yet. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I'll eventually get to Omega, but at this point, like, I didn't go for Relic, so I really don't want to mess with it because I started relatively soon. So, I'm not prepped to do any of the Omega level stuff. UK is 5 hours ahead of EST. Got you. I was waiting to see if that dude was gonna go, but looks like I got the aggro. I don't mind. Oh, look, they marked me. They're like, well, he's definitely the main tank. I wasn't trying to be. I was just trying to hurry this bitch up. Man down. Man down, man down. Like red mage abilities on a black mage, right? His Shadowbringer is going to have hybrid classes. It would be cool to see ranged DPS hybrids. The way the game works, it's pretty linear. Like each job, it comes from like classic, you know, Final Fantasy. So typically you don't see any hybrid type classes, but what we get instead is like, you know, main DPS and support DPS. So in that essence, it's kind of bland, but that's why I like, you know, the ability to switch jobs, because if you get, like, say you get a little tired of playing, you know, your one class, instead of building a new build, you can just switch the job, and that's what makes it challenging. Is trying to get familiar with all the jobs and their play styles, because there's a huge difference. Like in ESO, for example, the rotation's pretty much standard once you become familiar with a rotation, right? You can switch builds, but usually you see the same shit, like bow, dual wield on Stam, right? And you can switch it up for like bow builds and whatever, but you always know how the rotation goes, right? Because you layer. You layer all those effects. It's constantly layered. So in that essence, it doesn't change no matter how you build or what set you put in. Your rotation's the same, right? Same kind of principle, but in this game, you don't have the same rotation. It changes based on each job. So even if I build like a Stam Sork and a Stam Sork and a Stam Temp, a Stamplar, even with different sets, if the weapons are the same, pretty much my abilities are going to be the same. My rotation is going to be the same. There's not a lot of, you know, diversity when it comes to that, except maybe one or two classes, but a lot of it's the same. That's the thing. Like, I feel like ZOS needs to put more like things in the kit, and that's the problem. Is like class abilities are nice. Unfortunately, a lot of the times we can't get them to be very, breaking the meta. On SWTOR Vanilla, I used to do Jedi Sage with half kinetic and balance. You know, the thing about it is SWTOR's configuration was pretty badass, and so was classic WoW in that essence. Remember when, like, your build, your rotation and your abilities change based on how you set up. That's one thing I did like. I didn't like the way the zones were set up in SWTOR, but I loved like the build process. That was my only complaint, but the content was really done well. That's one thing I did really like about SWTOR. I was like, I could complain here about so many things, but I actually do like the build process. Like Rift. Rift was one of my favorite games, but unfortunately, because it was so unique, all these different souls, all of these possibilities, unfortunately, it wasn't practical. The meta always dictated which, souls were going to pair up better with others when it came to raiding. So Why did they do that? You're gonna get me killed. Just move. I stand. All you have to do is sweep to the side. I'll get him positioned. Now, I will say that I liked also the fact that in this game, like majority of the normal raids and trials and stuff, you can pug. It it makes it nice. There are some differences for extremes that it's more beneficial to roll in a group that has comms. Not to say you can't pug, but you need comms for sure. Is the 28th yet? No, not yet. I know, Omega. I'm dying. And I'm trying to bake that rest XP. Are you baked up on all your rest XP, Omega? I knew it. That's the one thing also is like the game's combat doesn't start getting good until about 40s to 50s, where you can start seeing like why the timers are so long, like the combos on the rotation. But once you start unlocking your other cooldowns and you weave them in and you build around that, like macro, to me, like it's all about configuration to the rotation. What's going off the global cooldown, what you can combo up together to maximize any other combo effect. That's where the game gets interesting to me, and how you master your jobs in this game. Like there was a lot of people who said, "Oh, if you're a tank, you definitely don't want to do this or that." And I'm like, I think it's doable because I've been doing it for a long time. It's just the question of it is, how do you set it up? It's there's like this one rule, like don't macro your string combo, and that's true. It's like I've tried it. And it glitches up like something fierce. If you time anything off on the global cooldown in a macro, it fucks shit up. You have to come everything off the GCD. And that's why it's always referenced in that way. What are you weaving off the global cooldown? So wasted it all on my crafters because dude, you still have time. Morning, Irish. What's up, brother? You got your coffee? Dude, no problem, Omega. Just don't utilize it starting today and you'll max out. And from my understanding, like my boy Mark was saying, heaven on high, if you're gonna level Dancer and Gunbreaker, heaven on high, and those ones will scale better with the XP instead of deep dungeon diving. If you want to get it in 3 days for the early access. I know a lot of people are going to be like pushing MSQ, but I think I'm going to wait until I get like Gunbreaker up to 70 before I dive into my MSQ. My question of it, like, given the fact that we only have, is it a week or 2 weeks prior to, like, Savage? I'm just worried about, like, gear requirements. Like, are we going to hit gear requirements for Savage in time? Nobody got the back one. Like, I'll tell you what, like, Irish here, when he was going through his Red Mage Chrissy, he played black and red. Like, if you want to ask about, like, the differences and the, like how the play style, like, I don't feel like you need a hybrid in this game because the way support jobs work and each job functions in its setup makes the gameplay just constantly, when you're trying to master something, it makes it unique. Like, Irish played Black Mage the whole way through his first setup, and he was definitely getting both casters down. And they play so different. Like, they have similar spells, but they don't play the same. Ah, fuck. I thought I was... Nah, I should have paid attention. That's me. See? One in... That's fine. I'm allowed to fuck up every once in a while. That's another thing. Like, if you miss a mechanic in this game, it's like you're dead. Like, if they don't hit those, that could wipe us. Like, mechanics in this game, that they're not very forgiving. That's the thing in raids. Like, everybody's like, oh, the difficulty's not that hard. That's because you get accustomed to it pretty quick. Once you learn the mechanics, it's like riding a bike. But if you fucking miss mechanics, you're fucking dead. I like right there, I missed the mechanic. Instant death. There's no coming back from that except res. That's where the difficulty lies. Which I hope they kind of switch that up a little bit, to be honest with you. Yeah, can we get it in the try shape? Thank you. And then it's going to drop right. See, that's the nice thing I like about off tanks too. You got one that usually takes care of mobs, one that the main tank drops. Yeah, I found a new guild. Right. I also got sponsored for a server transfer, so now I'm West Coast. I'm going to stick with good old Dragoon. Dragoon, I like the Dragoon's functionality in groups. Because he really, it is a skill to play a Dragoon. Dragoon is not an easy job because of, it's like you're up in there, first of all. And second, one of the major things is, I do not want all that stuff. I'm just trying to roll on some stuff to trade. Black Mage, fair enough, yeah. Black Mage is full damage. Red Mage is almost as powerful, but way more utility. You can off heal in a pinch, and res will get you an accommodation of 3, right? The thing about it, and each play style is just different. That's the thing. It's just so different. Like, a lot of people hate the combat, and initially, up until you hit about, I'd say 40s, it's slow. And then all of a sudden, though, you get past ARR and you're like, the combat's okay because it's turn-based. Like, you see functionality. And it doesn't start getting interesting till after that. Like Heaven's Ward. You go into Heaven's Ward and you get these new abilities. You're like, oh my God. Then you get into Stormblood and you're like, oh my God. I want time, mage, damage, square. Dude, there's no way they're going to be able to do that. I mean, how would they do that? How? How would they implement that with the mechanics? I'd like it, but how? That would be so hard. That one would be a bitch. That would be such a pain in the ass. Speaking of, we'll pull out the red. Now, I do need to level my black mage. Make it a healer. Yeah, you could. They're saying, a lot of people are saying that there's a chance that a Geomancer might be the next job for healing. I don't know. Someone's like, could Geomancer be the next healer? Like, it's not a bad idea, you know? I mean, that's 17 minutes. Screw you. I do not want a 17-minute wait. 12 minutes, that's not too bad. But for example here, the way the red mage works, like a lot of people are like, well, black mage is really, and it's true, black mage is really strong. But the way the rotation works on black is different from red and even summoner. And that's where it gets you. Like, they're all three casters. And a lot of people can point out that the summoner is obviously a pet class or a pet job. Which is true. It's dots and base pet, but you know, how you are implementing your procs, right, also speeds up your Bahamut rotation. And that's what you're trying to get to at levels, you know, once you unlock Bahamut, is procking, getting the procs set up into the rotation at such a pace that it's just, it speeds up Bahamut to summon Bahamut. Red mage, it's all about trying to get to these extra abilities to proc. And that has to do with your gauge. Gauging up, being able to rush in, combo up, and like set every, like the weirdest thing about red mage is it doesn't like weave like other jobs. Like, because of dual cast. Dual casts, pretty much you're trying to limit the cast time, and that's why I set up this macro, and I think Irish could tell you. The way I set up the macro is reducing the cast time, the least amount of cast time, to proc my larger fire abilities by instant. So it's a faster pace rotation. Black Mage has a longer cast time associated, but hits like a fucking nuke. It's just like, that's why, because you're trying to keep up. Boom, boom. Just notice a spelling mistake in the title of this stream. Oh, is there? Geomancer is basically a conjurer. True. So the way the red mage works, the red mage is always like procking up. Thank you, man, for that. I'll probably fix that after the stream. Like sometimes when I'm typing, I'm not like paying attention, and I'll like hit something wrong or something, but I'll definitely have to check it out. But thank you for that heads up, Jack. But typos, what can you say? But yeah, definitely I like the red mage. I really do. Like, this is my favorite caster, but Samurai's my favorite job, because Samurai for a DPS, now that might change though. Because Machinist, I like the Machinist already. It's one of the difficult rotations. It's clunky, but now it's changing. Like, they simplified the Machinist. And the Machinist now with the bot looks sick. It looks totally amazing. And I think between the Machinist, the Dancer, and the Bard, now I'm a little worried about the Bard. I'm a little skeptical, because they decided to reduce our synergy. And the Bard is probably getting the biggest effect from this. Like, is that going to, like, affect its capability? No. But I think they're trying to discourage meta formations. and I understand it. And they're talking about like also we're getting some changes to the limit breaks, our LB system, but I still, until I play it, I don't know if it's like an LB1, LB2, or LB3. Like, is LB1 and LB2 the change, and LB3 keeps consistent, or is it across the board? Because I don't see them taking the LB3 from a healer away, because LB3 for healers and raids is just, sometimes you bank LB3 in raids, because there's a lot of times that we can wipe in pugs. In pugs you can wipe. I mean, imagine going in with pre-mades and Slayer, and everybody's like in Slayers, jobs are assigned to specific players. Who's going to limit break? How long you're going to hold? When you're going to release the limit break? Who's using that limit break? During which phase? That's how technical they get. They do. They try to optimize their output. Mystics macros are some of the best I've seen. Thanks, Irish. I find Samurai really stale, but that's just me. Oh, I love Sam, man. Good luck. The meta is eternal and nothing can ever kill it. I'm aware of it. Like, that's the thing. Like, in ESO, they always try to determine a meta, but it's open-ended, and they're in different values due to the diminishing return. And those players don't understand, like, that mathematical laws that apply. Like, anywhere you see a invested percentage math based on diminishing returns, the offsetted difference can be calculated by the indifferent curve. And I hope I said that right. And unfortunately, ESO players aren't aware of that. A lot of them. Zynode is, though. I will say my boy Zy, very aware of that. Very intelligent. He's aware of how all those mathematical laws are applied. But unfortunately, even Outcast, as popular as he is, he's not mathematically sound. But I think Outcast has good builds, and he's probably one of the best rotations. I'm also confused why Dancer hits so damn hard despite being so strong support base. I'm wondering, though, Omega, if you notice, the Dancer does hit hard, but look at all the preparation prior to the main rotation. Did you see every video I've watched on Dancer, the prep setup seems way more drawn out than any other job. So I'm wondering if that was the configuration for why the abilities hit. Meta and ESO is ridiculous, and if you find something that works as well, you'll get slammed for using it, right? But that's the problem, isn't it, though? Because it's not the problem, that is the case. Because a lot of times, because the way the math works, because of indifferent values, you do find something that works just as well. And just as good. And each job's different. Like, you can't say BIS in ESO. BIS in this game, you could say, because it's determined. You don't have leeway. You have no other way. In ESO, if BIS was an actual thing, it'd apply to every job. But because of each class passives, each set affects that class different. Oh, I just noticed you transferred to my data center. Dude, what? You're in here? No way, Omega. Yeah, I transferred. I got sponsored yesterday to come over, and I joined a new guild. And we're getting ready to prep for Shadowbringers. Yeah, I came here because I wanted to be a part of a very... I'm on Goblin. Oh, are you? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm on Curl. I'm West Coast now. Yeah, I'm on the West Coast server, which is great. I'm still getting great frames and great latency. So... no problem. But yeah, I wanted to get on a active guild roster because we're setting up for runs and we can groom people and get people set up, and I'll fill in whatever. And that's what I said. I'm like, I'll fill whatever job. I don't care. If we got tanks, healers, whatever. So yeah. So I don't know if we're going on a recruiting campaign. I'll lend my services prior to Shadowbringers or during Shadowbringers drop. I think there's going to be a lot of server transfers. I think all the NA DCs are located at the same location. I wonder. I haven't looked into it. Like, but I honestly think, no, yeah, I haven't seen, I don't, the dancers, I'm wondering, I'm thinking the prep is just longer on Dancer. I think the prep, the prep for the beginning combination rotation on the Dancer is a little bit longer. So I'm wondering if the hits were calculated due to the setup times. Because dance partner, you have to set up. Your dance, what type of dance you're doing, set up. Everything. I think it's like the Dancer is going to be like, it's going to be one of those prep support jobs. Like, yes, it's going to deal a lot of damage, but you got to keep, it's like Bard when he's like switching his melodies, I'm worried Dancer is going to be overpowered because it certainly looks like it's already murdered Bard and meta. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, what spots are going to be filled to the meta? And I get why Square wants to kill the meta, because we don't have a lot of toxic crap in Final Fantasy XIV like other games do. But unfortunately, when we're talking about stacking uptime, which is real in every game, we can't deny that. Which job effects are stacking at the most optimal uptime? That's why I was a little worried, because support jobs fit the meta here. It's like you only got so many spots to put selfish DPS, and everything else is about uptime. It's backwards in this game. Like every other game, it's about the top DPS. David, what's up? It doesn't matter. Come spring 2020, Japan's greatest MMO comes stateside. Oh yeah, dude, right? Yeah, Phantasy Star, and it's going to be cross. So it's going to hit PC. It's going to hit Xbox. Xbox gets exclusive launch. Then later it hits PS4 and Switch, but no limitation. And that's what I want. I think Phantasy Star is going to be awesome for the West. I think it's going to be phenomenal. The combat system is very much like Elder Scrolls in a way, but Final Fantasy, it's like switched to weapons, which is really cool as well. It's all instance based, but some of the most epic fucking encounters you'll get from a game is in Phantasy Stars games. Dancer just seems odd because they say they are cutting back on synergy. Dancer, yeah, and it hits hard. But once again, is it because of the setup that the damage? I mean, can we suppose that the Dancer is going to get adjusted within the first 6 weeks? We know we don't get beta any tests. We don't get a PTS in this game, so I'm wondering if adjustments will be made. But because the Dancer, the combo strings, Lancer has, a 2-set combo string with 3-to-1, so 1 full rotation on your disembowel rotation, and then you get 3 to proc. And the one thing I do like is heavy thrust being taken out, because heavy thrust kind of is to reapply heavy thrust throughout the disembowel rotation is such a pain in the ass. That's my only complaint. I was like, and now they took it out. So and protects are going to be gone now too. I think Dancer is going to be really good, but that's another thing. How many open slots are we going to have? Are we going to have a Dancer in each ARR, or are we going to stack them? because depending on how many dances they have, and depending on the ability of the dances, are they going to be a stackable job? Because right now you're not going to stack like a job like Bard, and that's another thing to take in consideration. I like it how, like, there was the other day I was reading a post and someone's like, Final Fantasy 14 doesn't have a high-end difficulty. I'm like, it depends. Like, it completely depends. It's just like any other game in that essence. If you get a bad player, shit gets fucked up. I've done that multiple times. And then you have, like, one of the things, too, is Extremes and Slayers or have reduced timers on, your window of being able to move out of an effect. Where you might have a full second and a half to get the fuck out of the way on a normal. You only got that 1 second. The half second's been shed. You only got a second to react. And that's what I'm like, yeah, though there's difficulty there. It's just the problem of it is, once people get familiar with it, it's like any other game. Then it all becomes about your rotation and up times. Dude, this was the Manta I wanted too. You said that was in friggin' Azura, Eureka. I was like, no, god dang it. I'll never go there. I guarantee it. I'll have to put something together just for farms, and it's so farmy too. I hear if you do if you chain the fates, you get better higher drop rates. I'm not sure. Is that real, Omega? Like certain fates over there, like if you do a lot more fates, you get a higher drop rate percentage. That's what I heard. But like Irish was mentioning, it is currently the toxic. It is the toxic farm of Final Fantasy. Because there's like everything you have to do to get into like that. You better be Discord. You will do this because it's whatever. There are no exceptions. Oh shit! Looky! Mystic got some moves. I love Red Mage. God, he's so mobile. Got a meeting this morning, so got to run. You have a good day there, Irish. Get some rest, too, in between. Why is it this horse amount yet? Right? Dude. The Discord thing is for, oh, got you. Yeah. I heard about it, though. I was like, oh my god. But I knew I wasn't going to have time anyways. I was like, it's pointless for me at this moment to worry about Eureka because I wasn't going to chase ARR, or not ARR, Relic. I wasn't going to chase Relic because I was like, I've got so much prepping to do prior to Shadowbringers. I like this tank. I'm always going to wait until he gets that nice pull. See? I don't... Like, a lot of DPS are trigger happy. I am not one of those individuals. I want to make sure the tank's got everything. I think the healers will adjust. I know they're going to be a little salty. I'm not. I'm used to it. That's another thing. I actually like feeling like a caster for once again. It's been a long time. It's been a couple, like, good 2 years. Maybe, no. 3, I played ESO, and then I took, yeah. So it's been about 5 years since I've been able to feel like a caster again. I'm hyped for the tank changes. Me too, dude. Relics are good if you do them as they come out. Right. That's when you... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, dude. It's like, that's when you want to get your relic out of the way. I like the simple fact that even though crafters can't craft, like, best in slot, I like the fact that they can get you to a certain point where they're viable to utilize a crafter's sets to get you to a position to get your best in slot. That's another thing I like in this game. They still haven't gone over a lot of things that they're wanting to do either, which I found was kind of interesting. Like, I was anticipating a lot more information about all that. About like the crafting. I mean, I know we're rebuilding. Like the crafter's end game is always the crafter's end game, but I like the fact that they're incentivizing like leaderboards for crafters, titles, all sorts of really cool stuff for the crafting end game. I would like to see you know, maybe a new material enhancement through crafting again or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. We're all like, die, bitch. Wrong button. Chrissy, I think of SOTOR kept the old spec tree. They were right. All they had to do was just, you know, make sure like the how much damage was, you know, being added to the buffs. And SOTOR, they shouldn't have fucked with it. I'm playing an alt right now, and I have to do the vault on it. I don't want to do it because I know what happens after. I got a 4, you know, I think that's another thing, like, I think one day, like, getting together with people and maybe go pony farming would be a good idea, like, for stream events. I would like to get into, like, more stream events on certain days where, like, we can go through older content, pony farm and stuff, you know? Just for people who play the game, who maybe don't have their ponies. Like me, I just got in here, so that's another thing, like, I haven't got, like, to do pony farming a lot yet. Or title farming or something like that. I should have just closed the gap. I knew it. I'm like, I should have just closed the gap. Why didn't I? I like Red Mage. I really do, Chris. That's the thing. In this game, and you've played before, excuse me, I feel like it's all about, like, the ability to master a job, understand how you're implementing rotation, you're weaving in the abilities between, you know, you're weaving in abilities off the global cooldown, and then on top of it, nothing ever feels the same on any job. Like, it doesn't, it literally, people talk about homogenization in this game because of, like, you know, reduction in synergy. But what Square Enix has really done well is keep class identity, right? So a red mage is never going to feel like a black mage. Even if they, you know, get the abilities, and let's say they get, you take like Black Mage and Samurai, who are selfish DPS. Say they get, you know, the max amount of damage close enough where it's insignificant. Like, why would you take it, a black mage over a samurai? It's play preference. And it's the identity still stays true. It doesn't lose its appeal to the players who enjoy the job. And that's the thing too, because the way everything works in this game, there's DPS checks, but you know, it's set to a certain value that's got to be knocked down in that time. But everybody, as long as everybody's doing it at the same time when they're supposed to, everybody gets it. So literally, I understand, you know, when they say, you know, every job can complete the content. And the way they designed it, it's true. But once again, when we're talking about meta, we're talking about the most optimal abilities being stacked. That's what dictates meta here. That's the dictating factor of meta. Is support stack. Like, in WoW, we couldn't say that. In WoW, we could say, oh, which classes are dealing the most DPS in their rotation? That's what we're taking. That's what we are taking. For sure. In this game, it's like which jobs synergize well together and have the most frequent uptimes, you know, to maximize DPS output. That's how metas are determined here. Oh, fuck! I thought I turned away in time. Just... oh shit. Make up your mind. Just let me do something. No! Just go turn. No! Son of a bitch. Ah! And I'm gonna get swiped. Son of a bitch. That knocked some sense into me. Come on. Got it. Blah, 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 blah. I like the tank. Out. Give it to Ninja. Just because, you know, I always give it to healers or whatever. Indeed, what's up? What's up, Lauren? They said I was causing trouble. I actually put what I just said on the SOTAR forums. I had a lot of support, but then BioWare took the post down. Don't you love censorship? Everyone derps occasionally. I remember when this dungeon came out, the last boss was surprisingly hard for a dungeon boss. Right? Mark, what's up? Let me know when you're ready to finish. Yeah, I'll do it right now, dude. If you're on, dude, let's do it. Throw me an invite. I gotta switch back. We'll do it right now. I'm down for that. I'm down for it. I didn't get anything good out of those bags, though. I didn't get anything good out of those bags yesterday for drops. I got some materia. Remember to convert your materia, too. Convert the materia before we lose main stat materia. And you know, I liked how they trolled the material in the live letter. And they were like, you know, we don't know if we're coming out with a new material. I'm like, shut up. Stop. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Why the server change? Mark here sponsored my server change because he's on the West Coast server, and I was looking for a new guild because when Shadowbringers drops, I want to get in a guild that's going to be running progression runs. So we'll start off in our normal raid, our normal weeklies, and then we'll move to Savage. So I wanted a little bit more active guild when it came to like doing hunts and you know, raids, especially if we're doing like pony farming or something. You know, it's always nice to get like, you know, oh, we're gonna go pony farming. So it might be early. We might not get any queues. We might have to wait till this afternoon there too, Mark. We'll check it out. I mean, I don't care either way. Even if we have to duo it. But we'll see. I think it cross serves. Like when you queue, you can get cross server. We'll check. Wait time 7 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is going to be a fast way to do this, though. If you're leveling Dancer or Gunbreaker, stack the rest XP. You got 2 full days, like Mark was telling me. Omega, 2 full days. Don't do anything that's going to gain XP on another job. Stack the rest XP. Get your 10% free company boost. So your Heart of Battle buff up on those days. Make sure that's constant. Make sure you have your pre-order earring in, because that will apply up to level 70. That's 30%. You can get the 4% food if you want to go ahead and pay a arm and a leg, unless you can craft it and get the mats. But I mean, I think the 3% is just going to be efficient anyways. And then once all of that's set, dude, and then you come in here and you get that, you know, modifier for the scaling. You get the scaled modifier. Boom. I think 3 days will slam levels. You're going to head off? All right, Chris. Thank you for stopping in, Chrissy. You have a good afternoon. Yeah, I hate when people do censorships. It's really like, I'm serious. Like, that's the problem with games. Game companies don't want to take criticism. Getting this unlocked will help us level a lot faster in Heavens on High, right? Yeah, ha. You can call it ha or ha. Ho. You know, definitely. Oh, you got the Valentine's bow? I didn't even do the event. I was like, nah, I'm good. Just, you know, it's going to be crazy. I don't know if I like the differences between the pets. I like the fact that the pet commands are going to be, like, they're going to be considered abilities now on the Summoner. A lot of people are a little tossed up about Summoner, or not Summoner, Scholar changes. And I like what I've seen, but I wish they just would have done different, you know, between EOS and the other one. You know, maybe like buffs. How, you know, I get the one support, but the problem with the support is it doesn't actually heal. You got the flare. Sparkling flare. Yay. I think when I get a chance, I'm going to get the hand things, the signs, like come here. I didn't get any of that. I still have to unlock some of my other dances. I will say the emotes in this game are pretty badass too. Very detailed emotes. Out of all the games I've ever played that had emotes, these are my favorite emotes. Like ESO, I like personality, right? So I like the personality in ESO. You know how each, you know, as you're standing, you have a different personality. I like that in Elder Scrolls. The emotes are okay in ESO. They're pretty standard, you know. But these emotes, I love these emotes because the way like your face interactions work is fucking phenomenal. I was like, okay. Like, I'm not a big emote person. I'm going to admit that. I'm not a big emote dude. But I was like, you know, sometimes you get whatever and you just... But how, like, see his ears wiggle when he smiles, and then you switch it to another tune, and it's different. Another race, and it's different. Especially, like, victory stances and stuff. Oh, my God. Like, a lot of little things, man. Like, it's not just a generic, where it applies to every race the same. No, it does. Like, there are different little expressions for each race. And then depending on, like, stances, it differs for each job. And I thought, that's actually really fucking monotonous, but cool. Like, or not monotonous, tedious. That's a little, like, all the tedious detail that's gone into this. Not monotonous. Tedious. It's the tedious details, man. And you're like... Like, I loved it. Like, the ears go back to toot. I'm like, that's cool. There's a lot of details in the emote system. Oh, we got one more person. Got one more after this, and then how many levels? We got to do so many also to unlock the other one, right? There's one in Shadowbringers. I got to do so many levels anyways in this sooner or later to get. I'm going to try to farm up a couple of the rares in here. One day. One day. So Mark isn't doing the race change. I'm going to see how many people do race changes. So I have a Fantasia, and I'm holding on to it. Because if I do a race change, I wonder if I'm going with Hrothgar. I'm wondering if I'm going to do it. But, like, I could see my tanks and my melee DPS being Hrothgar. All my glamour would have to change based on that, though. I like the fact that they added hats to Viera and Hrothgar. I love that. I'm like, oh my god, they actually added the headgear. So they said at first they weren't going to be able to get it in on time, but they actually did. I like my look though on this, my healer look. I'm like a, you know, oh, there's the Pegasus. Someone's running around with Peggy mount. I don't know, like, I don't like these horses as much. These are the only ones I'm not, I like their no saddle, I like the effects, but, and then you go from something like that to this, and the graphics difference is just insane. You get, like, bubbles. Oh, look at you, dude. Got the white griffin. Got the white one. I got the regular. I got the brown griffin. There's the black jockey. Like, but there is such a difference in graphics with each of the mounts. Like, you can tell which ones came out at which phase of each game, which is kind of crazy because this game is 4K capable. I'm a little scared to try it in 4K. If any of you guys played this on 4K, let me know. What's it look like in 4K? I don't have 4K. I'm poor. I could, if I had a 4K monitor, I can hook up 4K. But I don't have a 4K monitor, so I gotta know. What's this look like in 4K? We're still waiting. It is early though. It is early. We're on West Coast server, so it's 10 o'clock here. And what is that? Like 7 o'clock over on the west coast. Depending, between 7 and 8. It's early. Yeah, some of these outfits are really detailed. That's why I'm not ever going to be in a group willingly with a Vieira tank. I'll forget to DPS. I will forget to DPS. I'll be like, what was I supposed to be doing? DPSing. What? Huh? Got the little wind-ups going on. I got quite a bit of minions, actually. I do have quite a bit of a minions. See, there's my little dude. This one's he's a little bit like mean. I wish they would actually implement like a little battle game with the minions. It would be kind of funny. Like if at the Golden Saucer, could you imagine like minion fights? It could be like a mock Pokemon where you get like everybody gets 3 minions to choose from, and they have their own stats. And it's based off the minions you collect. And literally you can play like a mock version of Pokemon, but it's called like Minion Battles. I think that would be friggin' epic. That would be so friggin' funny. Everybody be running around like, I need this minion for my minion battles. And I want Chocobo jousting in minion battles in the Golden Saucer. That's what I want. What level is my Chocobo? My Chocobo is only like 6. He is only 6, I believe. 7. He's 7. I got 3 more levels to get him to 10. And then, of course, leveling him up even more than that. I've been working, trying to even them out because I switch a lot. So, like, you know, I don't know. I think I'm going to go up a little bit more with the healer. So, it's a good idea, right? Yeah, I definitely need to like level my Choki a little bit more. I like taking during with me on fates. Like if I'm farming fates, sometimes I'll farm fates, and I'll take the Choki bow. Like it depends on the level of fate. Like some fates, you really should have groups. That's why I wanted to get it a guild too, to do like the hunts. Some of the world bosses and hunts are, yeah, you want to be in a group. You really do. And that's another thing I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for fate events. Like, because since we have the cross server, right, capability, we have the world visit system. Could you imagine if we get events that we could visit the other worlds and literally be able to go do those events, you know? Like when we get prompt, we'll get like a notification. We can go like they did for the test. And that would be really cool. That would be fucking excellent, actually. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, the new currency system I'm definitely looking forward to as well. I don't know, man. Hopefully we get another person. To span levels faster. Yeah, fast. Yeah, I think Heaven on High is definitely going to be good. What's the one in Stormblood? That's the one in Heaven's Ward, right? Heaven on High. Then there's one in Stormblood. I gotta go. I know where it's at, but that might be another one we want to unlock. Eventually, during like 70 to 80 type shit for alts after MSQ. Like 60, 70, Heaven on High, definitely. Oh, you never got on the other one? Heaven on High is in Heaven's Ward, right? Yeah, there's one in Stormblood too. But you need to have like Palace of the Dead at one something, Heaven on High at something. Like there's a requirement like Heaven on High. But I'll show you where it's at. I don't know if I can travel there now or not. It's at the sea. Sea of Tranquility or something like that, I want to say. You may have it. Yeah. The Ruby Sea, it's somewhere over there. Yeah. We can go over there while we're cute, I think. It's on a little island. Like, dude's right there, and he's like, to enter this, you must have completed this much levels, and that many levels, and this many levels, and whatever else have you. Hold on. Oh, he looks so cool in the water for a bird. Yep, yep. The dude's over, like, I think this is it. Yep. I think. Right. But this is the, what's this one called? This one's not Heaven on High. This is, what's this one? Let me. See, they won't even talk to me. They're like, get off me. There's the quest up here. There's like a quest dude up here or something. Yeah, we're gonna unlock it next. Yeah, this is the one, and it tells you, like, they're like, you need to do this and you need to do that, and we're not, you know. But yeah, this is the next one you get, and we're gonna get one more now too, which I have no idea what we are getting or whatever, but it's real. See, I knew it was around here too, dude. I was like, yo, I know it's around here. So, like, Heaven on High between 60 to 70. And then this one, like, if you're building alts after MSQ, this would be a good one. And then you could do the next one, and, you know, so on and so forth. This one's a little bit more crazy. Different ways to grind out. I definitely wouldn't recommend, like, the dungeon. I mean, not dungeon, like quest grinding. Ooh, no. It's like 4 runs per level, right? Oh, 1 second. Maybe my daughter, I don't know. Yes, it is. 1 second. All right, my daughter. I don't think we're getting this queue, dude. I think it's early. Ugh, 3 of 4. Oh, there it is. Sweet. That was a little bit drawn out of a queue, but it's early in the West Coast. West Side. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We got a tank now. Oh boy. See those weapons? Those are Eureka weapons. Bastard. Oh shit, Mom. Poor Mark's the only DPS. Well. Alright. Ow. Oh, my muscle. All right. Looks good. Gotta love mimics. Oh, they went the other way, Mark. Backside. Dude, just like mobbing. We're gonna go back. Well, never mind. Dude went in. Was like, okay, we're just gonna slaughter everything again. We open that chest? Okay. Come on. Oh, yeah. And there we are. GG. You know, I'm gonna get a cutscene here. No, no cutscene. Looks good. $11 minutes. We got 2. I'll be right back. Give me like a minute or 2. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right. Make sure. Later's not on yet. Shit. Yeah, poetics. I wonder what the cost is going to be. Oh yeah. There's some money. Oh, while we're waiting, might as well send my retainers out real quick. Trying to level my retainers up. On my way. Always recruiting. Shouldn't put the F, but no, we shouldn't need to. You know, Mark, we're gonna have to redo these on that on Dancer and Gunbreaker. We'll still have to go through back through this. We won't. So we just go into Heaven on High at that part. Nope, not yet. It's cool. I gotta get going anyways here. Okay. I'm going to wrap this up. I got to get going. I want to thank Mark for stopping in and helping me. I'd like to thank every one of you guys. I want to thank Jack, Irish, Chrissy, Omega. Thank you all for stopping in, supporting me. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. We got 3 days. We'll get all of this unlocked. We'll be grinding up Gunbreaker. Me and Mark will be doing Gunbreaker and Dancer 3 days straight. It's going to be crazy, but we're going to get it done. And then afterwards, I'm going to be coming out with videos about which tank might fit your play style in Shadowbringers. And the difference, the changes between with the new combat system, the configuration setups for each of these tanks, and then we'll move on to the healers, and then from there we'll go to the DPS. All right. Once again, I want to thank you guys. I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystics MMOs. As always, thank you. Have a nice day.